Hello, Excellence family. It's Danny Barnes, Director of Agent Relations, and I'm here with Madeline King, Loan Officer with Excellence Mortgage. Welcome to Mortgage Monday. Hope everybody's doing well. Today we're going to talk about why certain lenders seem to take longer than others. And how you doing, Madeline? Thanks for joining us today. I'll turn it over to you at this time.
Great. Thank you, Danny. Great to see you. Hello, Excellence Realty family. We're going to talk a little bit about turn times and why some lenders take longer than others, and why you may hear some news about, all these, some lenders are closing in, 10 days, and some are taking, 45, 55, and even 60 days on a case by case that's taking place. So we are, as you know, we're brokers, and we're actually have about 25 lenders that we do business with, okay, on a regular basis. And that's because they all have their specialties. There's the conforming government, and then there's the non-conforming. And each lender, has their niche and what they do well. And out of those, we'll have, maybe a core of, 5 or 7 lenders that we send the bulk of our business to. And those are, the regular conforming and conventional loans, and some government loans, USDA, FHA, VA. And some lenders are larger than others as well. So because we have so many, we try to pair off our loans with, obviously, the best rates, the best service, and the best turn times. So on occasion, we'll have a couple of loans that'll go through the system, and we have several last week that actually closed from submission to getting a clear to close in 8 days. Those were your regular conventional loans where scores were 720 and above, and they were full doc, and they actually were pretty complete files, and we got them to a CTC in 8 days. That's great. So that doesn't mean it closed in 8 days. That just means from the time that we began with the lender to the time that we got it clear to close was 8 days. That's great. But on occasion, we are dealing with other transactions that are just little, not your conforming, not necessarily the non-conforming, but they have what is called, their credit challenge. They have lower scores, and that's when we turn to these lenders that they will accept these types of borrowers, where they'll still do the FHA, but it's going to take them a little bit longer to get through the system. These loans they're specializing in these types of borrowers, and there's not a lot of lenders that do them. So most brokers are also sending their loans there, which means there's going to be an influx of transactions, and it's going to delay the process. Plus, some of these lenders are not as streamlined as other bigger lenders. So they are going to take a little bit longer in their process. But there's still, it's a good product. It's still an FHA loan. It's still going to work. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And that's what we've run into lately, where it's just, unfortunately, it's a process, because everybody's taking advantage of the fact that this lender will do this product that we need, and it's there, and we can do it, and we closed them. It's just not in the great turn time that we wish, but eventually it does get closed, and they still get a great rate. It just took a little bit longer.
Hey, real quick, and it's not always on the lender. I mean, sometimes the buyer needs to do their part and make sure that they're getting the lender everything that they need within a certain time frame. I mean, as soon as possible. So, I mean, that could postpone a closing, but
absolutely, that's a very good point, Annie. Thanks for bringing that up. We do. The reason we're like pushing this on the lender right now is because we usually have pretty good turnaround time with the buyer, because they're usually very anxious to get this going as well. Sometimes the process, when we request a document, will take them some time to get it. So yes, it does take a little bit of time. And once we go back into underwriting, the clock starts ticking again. So that's absolutely true.
Right.
We have to request a new document, and we have to wait our turn in line again.
Yeah. When you're working with a buyer, I mean, really, at least twice a week, contact Madeline. Is there anything you need? And I mean, you really need to stay on top of that as the realtor for your buyer.
Right, absolutely. And one of the things that we try and tell, every buyer at the beginning of the transaction is, listen, we're going to need other documents throughout the loan. Always give me your pay stub as soon as you get it, even though I haven't asked you for it yet. You know that I'm going to need it. As soon as your bank statement gets to you, make sure that you get it to me as well, because, time is passing, and while you're waiting in line to be underwritten, your documents will expire. They have expiration dates, and they'll always need a new pay stub, because, okay, you got a new pay stub, so the lender's going to require it. So we do try and tell that to the buyer, but everybody's busy and they've got their lives. So, sometimes they don't get those right to us, and we'll have to request them. But at the same time, lenders will sometimes pop up with with an off the wall request, and we do have to, and get to it. And another thing that we're doing is setting the right expectation, because that's important from the beginning. We want to make sure everybody knows when we're using a lender that we realize their turn time is a little bit longer than normal, that we'll send out, a disclosure letting everybody know from the beginning, this is where we're at. We just want everybody to be aware. We don't want to set any false expectations that you're going to be able to close in 30 days. These lenders are taking, sometimes 21 days just to underwrite a file. And, if it's complete and we're good to go, then, we should be able to get it done in 45. But because of, our current state of the market and situation, it may take up to 60 days. And we have to take all of that into account. And we do want to let everybody know from the beginning, because it's important to set the right expectation. And that includes the buyers, the seller, the agents, so that everybody understands how the process is going to go. It just makes it easier for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. And fortunately, we have the ability to, we have these resources that we can put these loans into. We have to be grateful for that, because, not every, how do you say, not everyone's path to home ownership is a little different. Some people are easy peasy and some are just a little bit more challenging, but we have the resources to make it happen. It just may take a little bit longer.
Right. All right. Anything else you want to add, or?
I think that's good. We just want to make sure that everybody understands that we are doing everything we can to get them, pushed through the system. And, we try to get them as complete as possible, so they only have to be reviewed once or twice when the underwriter sees it, for, to clear the remaining conditions. And we want to set the right expectation for everybody. But, you will have those that are, like I said, clear to close in 8 days, and others that are going to take a little bit longer, or a substantial amount longer compared to 8 days. But we will eventually get it done. We just have to be patient and trust the system and trust the process.
All right. And if they want to reach out to you, or, let's talk about a little ways to reach out to Excellence Mortgage.
Absolutely. Well, there's always a direct work chat or a phone call away. We've had plenty of, people, I have a lot of agents that reach out to me through work chat, which is great, to follow up, to check on what their process is doing. The processors do reach out to the agents and update them on a regular basis. And
then they can apply online, right? excellencemortgage.com.
Absolutely, excellencemortgage.com, and we'll get that notification. Or through their portal on the URL, they can send the link to, to the buyer as well.
Right. If you go to excellencerealty.com, we all have our own personal page. Right on your personal page, you can get to Excellence Mortgage, and that way Excellence Mortgage knows which realtor with Excellence Realty is referring that buyer. So
absolutely.
Lots of ways to get in touch. But hey, it's great seeing you again, and thanks for your time, and thanks for all of our agents' time. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks, as always, together moving forward. Hope everybody has a great week. Thanks, Madeline.
Thank you, Danny. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.